Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Crazy Joe back with some more reviews for you. Reviews of some physical media. All of these titles were sent to me by Mill Creek Entertainment. You know, they send the things. You always see me unbox them. Then I try to get back to you with reviews of them. Sometimes it takes me a while. I apologize. What can I say? I got kids and things get busy. But I got 4 titles here that were sent to me by Mill Creek that I'm going to review. And let's start with this one. This is the movie Baby Mama, starring Tina Fey and Amy Poehler. This is a film I've never seen before. By the way, of the 4 movies we're going to talk about here, I had never seen 3 of them before. One of them I had, but this is one of the ones I did not. Baby Mama. I remember when this movie opened. This movie opened at well, a difficult time in my life. So I didn't make it out to see it because a lot was going on in my life at the time. And, you know, it's one of those movies that fell through the cracks. But I like Amy Poehler. I like Tina Fey. These are 2 very, very talented, funny women. So this is a movie that I kind of, I expected to like. I was a fan of Parks and Rec. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of 30 Rock, but it's okay. And I think Tina Fey is very talented. And these 2 have great chemistry together. They're obviously friends. They were on Saturday Night Live together. So they do have a pretty good chemistry. So in this movie, we have Tina Fey, who very much wants to be pregnant and can't get pregnant. So she hires a surrogate to carry her child. And that is Amy Poehler. And they're very different people. And Amy Poehler ends up moving in with her, and wackiness ensues. In fact, it's nonstop laughs, according to Pete Hammond of Hollywood.com. I would disagree. I was underwhelmed by this film. I think that the talent behind this film could have should have presented a better film. There's such talent here. These 2 actors, comedians are capable of much more. And I wish this had made me laugh more. There's moments. This isn't a train wreck of a film. There's moments. But it's relatively unmemorable. And I wasn't that impressed with Baby Mama, unfortunately. I wish I liked it more. You know, it did have Greg Kinnear in it, though. And we don't see Greg Kinnear anywhere near enough anymore. He's one of those guys who just since the 90s, he's kind of disappeared, right? You know, since his heyday on Talk Soup, you don't see much of him anymore. Mystery Men, man. There's a great movie, Mystery Men. Sadly, I'm not a huge fan of Baby Mama. I wish I liked it more. But I can't give this film a high 5. Maybe I give it a low 5. But yeah, no, not a favorite. All right, let's get to one of the older films here. Actually, 2 of these are... maybe this is one of the newer films, actually, considering what we've got here. One of these dates back to the 80s. So, yeah, 1990... It was 96, right? No, 95. 1995's The Net, Sandra Bullock. Another film I had never seen before. And you may have, if you watched the unboxing video where I opened this, I kind of questioned whether or not this was going to have aged well because of the advances in technology. I started thinking of a movie about a computer hacker and computer hackers and that kind of thing. How well is a film like that from 1995 going to fare in 2021 with all the technological advances we've had? Is this going to be archaic and kind of laughable? Gotta say, no. It's really a film, when we get right down to it, it's a film about identity theft. So identity theft is still going on today. So if anything, I'd say this movie is more poignant, maybe, than it was even back then. I'd say it's become maybe more poignant, more important. I enjoyed this film. I will say the movie goes on about a half hour too long. And I'd say the too long half hour is at the beginning. There's a lot of setup for this film. and it's slow moving for like that first 30 minutes or so. This is a film that really picks up as it goes along, and in the end, it's worth watching. They do get you to a place where you're invested, but it takes a while to get there. And I wish maybe they had cut maybe they could have cut down the beginning of this film. They could have cut down the beginning of this film, give it a brisker pace, and it probably would have worked better. But overall, I did enjoy The Net, so that is something I would give a high five to. I would definitely recommend The Net. And like I said, even though technology has changed, the concept, the story, identity theft, that's more important today than ever, isn't it really? So she's a computer programmer who gets a hold of a game, like a CD-ROM game, that gets her involved in this big conspiracy where they end up kind of erasing her existence. And it's interesting. It's a worthwhile film. The Net. High five to that one. Several years too late, because this is a 1995 film, and I am in 2021 finally giving you a recommendation for this. So I'm behind the times on that one. But we just seem to be going back further and further through time, because this film is, if I'm not mistaken, from 1991. Am I right? 1991? Maybe 92? I think it's 91. So yeah, we are going back even further on this one. Sylvester Stallone in Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty. Like I said, this is an interesting movie because it's a movie that has been part of the conversation in recent years, because it came out in an interview that Arnold Schwarzenegger tricked Sylvester Stallone into making this movie. Basically, at this period in time, Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were very competitive. They were the two top action stars, and they were always trying to outdo each other. Every time one of them had a hit, the other one would, it was very competitive between the two of them. So they would often be up for the same movies. The same script would come out. They needed an action star, and the top two guys of the day were Stallone and Arnold. So the producers of these movies would be like, all right, can we get Stallone or can we get Arnold to star in this? And this movie comes out, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And apparently they went to Arnold first. And Arnold thought it was incredibly stupid. He read the script, thought, this is dumb, I'm not going to do this. But then he decided he was going to try to trick Stallone, since the two of them were so competitive. He basically leaked that he was interested in this movie as a way to get Stallone to jump on it. Like, he thought if Stallone heard Arnold is interested, circling this production, then it was going to pique Sylvester Stallone's interest, and Stallone would be like, oh, Arnold wants that one? Well, I gotta get it. That's gotta be my film. And it worked. It worked. Stallone heard Arnold was interested, and he real quick jumped at it. And Arnold never had any intention of making this because he thought it was going to be a terrible movie. So he tricked Stallone into making what he thought was going to be a horrible movie. Let's get right down to it. Is this movie good? This movie is stupid. That said, I had a great time watching this. Of all the movies that we're going to talk about today, I probably enjoyed this one the most. I had some genuine laughs. Some of them were real laughs because it was actually funny. Some of them were, oh my God, that's dumb laughs. But who cares? A laugh is a laugh. It made me laugh. And look, I'm just a mark for Sylvester Stallone. I love Sylvester Stallone. I grew up in the 80s. I mean, he was an icon of my generation, right? And I grew up in the Philadelphia region. Rocky is very important to us here from the Philly area. If you grew up in the Philly area, we have a serious love of Rocky. So Sylvester Stallone holds a place in my heart. So yeah, I enjoyed the crap out of this movie. It is dumb, but it is dumb fun. And as I've said many times, I am a huge sucker for Mill Creek's VHS series that mimics the look of old VHS cover art. I love these releases. So yes, big high five to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I really enjoyed this one. Yes, it is dumb, but it is dumb fun. I liked it. All right, last one. Now, this is the only one of the group I had seen before. As I said, this movie, we're talking about 1986's Rad. And as I said, this is a steel book of Rad. As I said previously, this movie came out about a year ago. This movie was never available on DVD. It was VHS only. It was a VHS release back in the 80s. And then it never had a DVD release. And it's one of those movies that was out of print for years. You really couldn't get a copy unless you found an old VHS of it. And people really wanted this movie. It was always one of those movies like, when are they going to put Rad out? When are they going to put Rad out? Well, about a year ago, it came out on 4K. 4K from a different company. But it was a limited release, sold out very quickly. If you didn't get it then, you weren't going to get it. Well, here's Mill Creek to the rescue, because for everyone who missed that first release, here it is on a beautiful Steelbook Blu-ray. So I popped this in, took a look at it. I had previously seen the 4K transfer, and this is a beautiful transfer. This looks great. This is as good as you're going to get outside of a 4K release. This is not a 4K. This is regular Blu-ray. Blu-ray, it's weird because we used to say standard def and high def. Standard def and high def. We used to say that. But now because of 4K, I find myself saying 4K and standard high def, meaning high def that is not 4K. So this is a regular Blu-ray, not a 4K Blu-ray. So this is standard high def as opposed to 4K high def. And it's as good as you're going to ever see this movie outside of the 4K release. It looks beautiful. It really looks beautiful. This is a great transfer. If you love this movie, you will be very happy with the transfer on this disc. Looks terrific. I also checked out the special features. There are bonus features on this disc. And I compared and contrasted them to the bonus features on the disc that came out a year ago that you cannot get now because it's out of print. Unless if you want to pay an exorbitant amount of money on eBay or something. I took a look at the special features. Well, these are the special features we have here. It is a Rad Q&A session featuring cast members Bill Allen, Talia Shire, Bart Connor, screenwriter Sam Bernard, and hosted by Jorma Taccone. I didn't know who Jorma Taccone was. Apparently he's a member of the Lonely Island comedy troupe that Andy Samberg from Saturday Night Live is best known for. He's one of those guys. I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't too familiar with him. But he hosts the Q&A here, which must have been done recently. Must have been done during the past year. Because it's the first time I ever saw one of these kind of Blu-ray DVD extras that was done over a conference call, like a Zoom type meeting. Usually they'll get the cast together for like a roundtable discussion, and they'll all sit together, and a moderator will ask them questions. That's not how it was done here. So I'm assuming it was done in the past year in the COVID era, which makes it, to the best of my knowledge, I could be wrong, but that might be the first COVID era special feature interview session. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you know of another one? Let me know down below. First I've seen. And it's good. It's 40 minutes long. They get pretty in depth, and it's very informative Q&A session. And it is not on the previous release. That is exclusive to this release. After that, we get to a couple items that are on the original release, and that includes an archival video interviews from back in 1986, exact same clips that were on the release a year ago. The behind-the-scenes featurette that was made, it's, I guess, from the 80s, this behind-the-scenes featurette. But it was also on the disc that came out about a year ago. And the Break the Ice music video was also on the release a year ago. So you do have some carryovers that were on that disc that make their way to this one. But you also get that Q&A session that was not on the original release. So this is a good release if you're a fan of this movie. A beautiful, beautiful steelbook looking. It slides out. There you go. Steelbook is super nice. Look at that. That's a handsome release there. Handsome release. So that's a must-have if you are a fan of this film, and a lot of people are. And like I said, for years people wanted this movie. It wasn't available. Then it was available for a brief moment in time in a limited edition. That sold out. A lot of people didn't get it. Here's your chance. Mill Creek has made it available again. Now's your chance. So there we go. Big high five. Big high five to the Rad Steelbook. Big high five to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. A high five to the net. And not so crazy about Baby Mama. I wish I liked that one more. So there you go. Those are my latest reviews. All of these titles are available now from Mill Creek Entertainment wherever you get DVDs or Blu-rays. So everyone, thanks for watching. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.